Hello everyone, my name is Suhail Ahtesham. I am Assistant Professor in Management Studies. Welcome to my 7th lecture on the subject Management Process and Organizational Behavior. In today's lecture, we will be discussing on the topic the term manager, meaning and its characteristics. We will also discuss roles of managers by Henry Mintzberg. In any formal organization, there are specific managerial roles that has to be followed by every manager for effective utilization of resources and for effectively reaching the objectives of the organization in the competitive market. Today we will be discussing these managerial roles in detail. Coming to the topic, manager, meaning and its characteristics. Who is a manager? A manager is a person who performs the functions of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling for the accomplishment of the objectives of an organization. So, manager is an employee at supervisory level in the organization who effectively perform the various functions of management. The functions of management are basically the 5 functions which are given by Henry Fayol. These functions are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. By effectively use and performing of these functions in an organization, the manager can achieve the organizational goals and wants. By as the manager will effectively perform this function, the manager can reallocate, and the manager can convert the raw material into finished product. The raw material are said to be the various factors of production or the 5 M's of management. 5 M's of management are manpower, machinery, method, money, and material. These are the unorganized resources which are available in the market, and it is the responsibility of an effective and efficient manager to perform the various managerial functions in the right way so that these unorganized resources can be effectively utilized for achievement of organizational objectives and goals of the organization. So this is all about the term manager. Coming towards the various major characteristics of an effective and efficient manager in the organization. First, knowledgeable. Second, disciplined. Third, good listener. Fourth, decision maker. Fifth, effective speaker. Sixth, motivator. Seventh, energetic and confident. And the last, spent major portion of his time for the organization. So these are the major 8 characteristics of the effective manager in the organization who work for the achievement of organizational goals and wants in day-to-day process. Let's proceed on the various roles of manager by Henry Mintzberg. You can see a diagram in tabular form which shows the various roles of managers. The roles of managers are categorized as interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. Each categorization of managerial roles are subdivided in various forms. If we talk about the interpersonal roles, they are subdivided in 3 forms. Informational roles are also subdivided in 3 subcategorization, and decisional roles are subdivided in 4 categorization. So basically there are 10 major roles, managerial roles according to Henry Mintzberg. Right. Today we'll be discussing these managerial roles by Henry Mintzberg in detail. The first role in interpersonal roles is figurehead. Manager as figurehead means manager has to represent the firm at public affairs. Management has to oversee the functioning of the organization and act and be as a face of the organization, face of the department, who perform the duties, who make speeches in front of the related parties who are involved, who are directly or indirectly related to the achievement of the business goals and objectives. So, manager first interpersonal role as a manager is figurehead. Second, leader. As a leader, the manager has to motivate their employees, motivate the subordinates in the organization, and basically related to motivation, guidance, support, direction, and upliftment, encouraging the employees who are working for the organization in day-to-day activities for achievement of organizational goals. So it is the role of manager to be an effective leader and to motivate and inspire their employees, their subordinate in the right form, right way, so the managers can work in so the employees of the organization, the subordinates of the organization can work in more effective manner. Right. The third subdivision is liaison. Liaison is related to, it is being a manager, and in terms of liaison, the manager has to act as a link between the various internal and external groups, internal and external environment of the business. The external environment of the business may consist of suppliers, coordinators, wholesalers, customers. These all are the external forces, external parties, right? Now, being a liaison, it is related to maintaining the sound relationship between the internal and external factors of the business, so that the business can run in a long way, and the business may functioning in the for the achievement of organizational goals, and there must be no hurdle in between the functioning of the organization and for reaching the objective of the organization, right? So there must be sound relationship between the external parties like government, customers, suppliers, coordinator, distributors, right? So this is all about the role of as a liaison. Coming to the next categorization, the informational role. In informational roles, the first subdivision is monitor. Manager as a monitor has to basically observe the functioning of the department, and they have to collect certain data, review the data, and basically related to monitoring the day-to-day activities of the subordinate in the right way, and observe the behavior of the employees who are working for the organization, and guide their employees and direct the employees, direct the subordinate about the right working in the organization in the right way. Next, disseminator. Disseminator is related to spreading or transmission of information at the right way at the right time. Now, the information related to business is specified in internal and external environment, in internal and external terms as well. Being a manager, the second informational role of a manager, being a disseminator, the manager has to transmit the information, the valid information which is related to the organizational development, and which is related to the work of the organization, the functioning of the organization in the right form. Right. So this is all about the disseminator. The third subdivision is spokesperson. Manager as a spokesperson. At every levels of management, we have specialized manager. There are basically three levels: top level, middle level, and low level managers. Right. At every level of management, there are specialized managers who have to maintain, and who have to behave as a spokesperson to their group, to their department. Right. At every level, the manager speaks in front of the various related groups, maybe the internal factors, maybe the external factors, who is relating the business. Being a manager, being a spokesperson, it is the role of a manager to speak about their organization, the working of the department, and the work day-to-day functioning of the department whenever it is needed. Right. So these are all the internal roles and the various subdivisions of the informational role, and the various subdivision of the informational roles in the roles of managers. Coming to the last categorization of managerial roles, it is decisional roles. The first subdivision of decisional role is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is basically related. Sometimes it happened that in an organization, manager has to act as an entrepreneur. It means basically related to making decisions, making policy plans, sudden plans, are related to formulation of plans, right? And related to making the decisions independently in the department, in the organization, without any hurdles, without any guidance. And sometimes it may happen that being a manager, the responsibility and role of the manager to take some decisions independently, and it is the ability of the manager for taking the decisions independently in the department. Right. So this is the decisional role that the manager has to be the entrepreneur to the organization. Second, disturbance handler. Now, disturbance handler, it is very essential and very sensitive part and role towards the manager. Being a disturbance handler, the manager has to, the primary responsibility of every manager is to resolve the problem and maintain a harmony in the department. And if there is any conflict, then a disturbance in the department, it is the responsibility and role of a manager to clear all this disturbance from the department, so the workers and the employees, the subordinate, can work in an effective manner, and there will be no disturbance in the department, so that the employees can work for the organization, and it will increase the productivity and the working knowledge of the employees as well. Right. Next, resource allocator. Resource allocator is related to allocation of all unorganized factors of production in the organization. We have discussed earlier, they are the unorganized resources of the organizations are said to be the 5 M's of management. So these all 5 M's, these all unorganized resources has to effectively utilize, combine together for achievement of organizational goals in a right way. Other than this, being a resource allocator, it is related to approving of budgets, schedules, and related to promotions, right? So these all are the duties and roles as being a resource allocator to the organization. The last decisional role is being as a negotiator. Being as a negotiator means making negotiations with the external parties. Suppose, for example, there is a manager at purchase department, purchase manager, who has to purchase the raw material for the organization, so that the organization convert the raw material into finished product. Now, it is the responsibility and role of a manager, the purchase manager, to make a negotiation process with the supplier. Right. So this is one of the example of being as a negotiator to the organization. Right. So it is the link between the purchaser, that is the manager in the organization, and the supplier, who is the seller for the organization. Being as a negotiator, acting as the role of the negotiator, it is the responsibility and role of a manager to effectively effectively deal with the suppliers and try to minimize the cost of the organization, so that the organization can get more and more profit and the organization can work on for a long run. So, these all are the various roles, managerial roles of the organization, which are especially related to managers. And every manager has to follow these certain roles in the organization for effective utilization of the scarce resources, and for getting the output in the right way in the organization. So hope you have understood this lecture, and if you for more videos you can like, share and subscribe my channel, and thank you so much for watching my lecture. Have a nice day.